What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Real Word Podcast, a place where real thoughts, real ideas, and real words come to life. I am your host, Drew, coming from San Diego, California. Thank you for stopping by, tuning in, checking out the channel. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit up all those links down below if you want to support the channel. And now we can get into the episode. It is August 17th, 2020. It's Monday morning around 6:30 in the morning. And wow, what a frustrating last handful of days it has been. I didn't get an episode out Friday. It wasn't from a lack of effort. Even though I really didn't want to, I forced myself to get up and get out here. And then I was about 30 something minutes into an episode, and then it just stopped recording on my phone. I guess used up too much space on my phone already. Even though I'm deleting everything I do after every single video I do, I delete it to clear up and make sure the space is good. But for some reason, I'm struggling with space again, and I have like triple the amount of space that I had on my old phone, so I don't know what's going on. It's really frustrating. It's like I can never just let things can never go smooth. It's just really frustrating. And I was already frustrated from Thursday because we were supposed to do Cult of Gaming, and I was supposed to have Isaiah come on, and we were supposed to, do this thing I was going to call Padres and Politics, and we were just going to play some Warzone since he has that, and, he has the online, and we could just do that. And we had played in the past, and, we could hear each other and talk and communicate through in-game and everything. Went to go do the streaming on Thursday, and my audio, he could not hear me talking. Like, I could hear myself in the headphones, and I could hear him, but for some reason, when I would talk, he could not, like, it wasn't registering, it wasn't going through. I don't know what happened. It was really frustrating. Yeah, I don't know what I need to do to get that going, because we had it going in the past. I've played with a couple of people, and they could hear me talking and stuff, and I haven't changed any of the settings, but for some reason, it just, of course, when I wanted to do something and, do something productive, it doesn't work. It's like, this is so frustrating, man. It's like, I don't even know what to do. It's driving me crazy. I definitely am thinking, like, I need a new camera for sure. I need, like, a legitimate, just straight up camera. It's like, I wish I could just buy an iPhone or something and just have one for a camera and one for, like, phone. Like, one to just keep for all of my recording and all of that stuff. Shit, man. It's like, too bad my other iPhone got dropped and, like, the screen smashed, because, like, I would use that one still just as my regular phone. And then this one as my work phone, where it's just recording and, that type of stuff. Just stuff with the podcast, and that's it. But then my other phone is just, it doesn't have enough memory as well, and the battery is, like, dying. It's like, it doesn't hold any charge at all anymore. So it's just really frustrating. Just everything is really frustrating right now. Yeah, it's just crazy. Let's get into a little snap here. I am gonna try and be maybe a little bit quicker, a little bit shorter of an episode, because I don't know if it's gonna cut me off again, and I will be really frustrated if I don't get another episode out. So it's not like you guys heard any of the first episode on Friday, so it doesn't even really matter, but who knows? It's just really frustrating. This is some Tropicana Punch from Farmer and the Felon. Got clean glass, clean water, all of that. So let's get into that. And then we should get into just a little recap of from Thursday through today. yeah, let's get into it. We have to run through it pretty quickly. I can't expound on a lot of things. Maybe I'll run through a couple of the quick things first and then get into some of the heavier stuff towards the end. But yeah, let's just get into this. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to go about it. But all right, let's get into this. Cheers. All right, so let's get it going. What do we have first? So, had my therapy appointment on Thursday after we were doing the gaming stream and everything like that. I thought it was supposed to be at noon. I put my phone on the charger. It was around 11:20. I checked my phone from the charger, and my therapist was like, "Oh, you all set?" Like 20 minutes ago at 11. I was like, "Oh man, what the heck?" Like, I'm ready now. I thought it was at noon, but yeah, I'm good now. Come to find out, it was supposed to be at noon. He just messed up. And yeah, we were just kind of talking about. We spent the whole hour basically talking about the situation and argument that I've had with my brother, and then how it kind of was gonna affect the weekend, and how I didn't really want to go on the vacation with them because I didn't want to cause any problems. And you know, he said I should go, and I wanted to go, but so after the appointment, I told him I'd call my mom and kind of see where she's at with me going, because it's like, yeah, I don't want to cause a problem or anything like that, but it would have been nice to, you know, make that phone call and be like, hey, so, you know, I just had my appointment. He suggests I go. I just want to, you know, see where you're at. It would have been nice for it to have been like, yeah, of course we want you to go. Yeah, like it doesn't matter. You know, I don't want this to happen, but yeah, of course we still want you there. So please come. That didn't happen. It was more like, oh, well, you know, I understand. You don't have to come. It is supposed to be a family thing, but, you know, it is what it is kind of thing. And that just really bummed me out, because it's like, at first I understood, but the more that the weekend went on, is like, nah, I don't. This is so fucked up, and I don't like it. I'm like really upset at kind of everybody in my family right now. It just makes me feel completely unwanted, like, for sure. It's like, who cares? It's like, if this is the way I am, is the way I am. Deal with it, or yeah, like I don't want really anything to do with them right now. Like, and that's really sad and hard to say, but I just think it's really messed up, because I really wanted to go. I never get a chance to go on a vacation or anything like that. It's very rare that I do, just because of how I normally am. It's like I normally don't want to go on things and stuff, and like I'm usually caught up in my head overthinking things and stuff like that. But it it's just yeah, it's just one of those things that it makes me really upset that they didn't want me to go, and it made for a really rough weekend. Um yeah, Friday, all day Friday when they left, like I was just a wreck, and then Saturday I was a wreck. Yesterday was okay, but yeah, I just don't really want anything to do with them right now. And that's just me, you know, that's just how I am, that's how I get, and that's sad. It sucks. That's not okay, you know what I mean? But it's what I need to do right now. I need to kind of figure out what's best for myself. And yeah, it was just it was a tough weekend. And like I said, I did what my therapist said, and I tried reaching out, trying to, make the situation at least express myself, saying that I want to go, and then kind of getting shut down in that way. And it's like my mom did offer other options, but it's like, no, I didn't want I didn't want to show up a day and a half later when my brother and his girlfriend are not there. It's like, no, that's not a family trip. Like, I want to go and experience it like everybody else. But they were trying to make, certain accommodation, and I just wasn't okay with that. And that's on me for sure. But to me, it wouldn't have been a family trip. I wouldn't have enjoyed it. I would have been really depressed still if I would have been up there. But knowing my brother wasn't there and all, like, it wouldn't have been a good situation. So it just, it sucks. I'm really sad about everything about that. It's really not a fun feeling, but it's a lonely feeling, that's for sure. So what else is going on? So what, on like Thursday was kind of a pretty busy day, I think. Steven Crowder got like remonetized on YouTube, and that was pretty cool. I watched his stream on that. He had Brian Callen on, which was a pretty big get because, Brian Callen's going through his whole thing, and it was interesting because he said he was gonna he wasn't gonna stay quiet, but then he wasn't doing the podcast, and he kind of hushed up on social media for a week, 2 weeks now, or something like that. But looks like they're coming back on Patreon. The Fighter in the Rinks. So that'll be there, and I don't know what they're gonna do with the Fighter and the Kid. Maybe Brendan's just gonna kind of keep it going with himself and the guest host that he has going on. I don't know. Maybe they'll just completely transition to the new thing. Who knows, man? But it's a end of an era coming up here in Hollywood with the whole podcast scene, man. It's crazy. It's really crazy. We have Joe Rogan leaving, and watching his podcast. He had Ron Funches on the other day. That's one of the ones I watched. Oh, and then he had Tim Dillon on. Hilarious. Both of those are just great. But the Ron Funches, man, so hold on. Before I get into the Ron Funches, it seems like Joe's trying to get all of his closest friends, all of his closest buddies in one last time before he leaves. And the last handful of episodes that I've seen, Joe has seemed to be much more emotional about things. Like, you could hear it in his voice and everything like that. It's really interesting. But the Ron Funches one, Ron Funches is hilarious, man. He just makes me laugh. And Joe even took something from Ron Funch's like writing process. I forget, it was like love, fear, and maybe love, hate, and fear, something like that. Break things down into those 3 categories, and that's how he kind of comes up with this writing process. And it sounds like Joe kind of is gonna start implementing that in his writing process. And it does sound like a super simple writing exercise. I think Ron even said that it's this basic exercise for a writing class or whatever, and it really does keep things organized because you can really like break things down into what you love, hate, or what you fear. I believe those are the 3 categories. I could be wrong with the hate one, but I know it's love and fear. But that second one, I forget. It could be interchangeable. Like, I don't remember exactly what it was, but I'm assuming it was hate. But yeah, good podcast. Like I said, it seems like Rogan has been getting pretty emotional with, I could hear it in a couple of moments with Ron, and seemed like when he was with Joey Diaz and Red Band, he was getting a little emotional at times. And yeah, you could just tell, like, man, it's like an end of an era. It's crazy. But Rogan is leaving to, Austin, Texas area, getting his studio set up already. It's already getting going. He's planning on doing a comedy store out there. So it'll be interesting to see the boom happen in Texas. And he said people are getting mad at him for like blowing it up. And it's like, hey, might as well. Like, it's funny. Like, we'll see what happens with that area. If it becomes LA or that type of feel to it, or yeah, I'm really interested to kind of see how that whole thing happens and plays out over the next handful of years. Because I'm sure it'll take him. Man, he probably already has like a comedy store like in works already. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I wonder what. So I wonder what he's gonna do, if he's gonna like buy a house and then buy a separate piece of property where he does the comedy store podcast. Like, what's he gonna do? Like, how's he gonna do this? It'll be interesting. I mean, I'm sure some people know where his LA studio's at, but it seems like he keeps everything really private, you know? It's like you don't really see any outside footage of where his studio's at or anything. I mean, I've never looked, but you just always see a lot of these behind the scenes things from different podcast people, and you could kind of see where they're at and just things like that. But I have no idea, like no clue anywhere where Rogan's studio's at right now. No idea. But it has to be like this big warehouse, I would assume. So I would assume it would be something similar in Texas, but it'll be like I said, it's a change, man. End of an era, change of times, whatever you want to call it. Things are changing for sure. I wonder what will happen to California with all of these people moving, because I guarantee it's not just going to be Rogan and Elon Musk moving. Like, I'm sure there's going to be a kind of not mass exodus, but a pretty good portion of people I feel are going to be trying to leave. And yeah, I don't know if I ever see myself leaving California. I love it here. I don't really like how things are ran here, as far as political and all of that. But it's like I try not to let government dictate my day-to-day life like that. I'm becoming more aware of politics and, maybe voting and all of that. If I do, it would be for the Libertarian candidate. I still have to do more research on her, but I started following her on like Twitter or something like that. Maybe Instagram, maybe both. I don't know. But I'm just trying to educate myself on her a little bit more. Jo Jorgensen, I believe, is her name. And yeah, so if anything, that's who I would vote for. But again, I need to do a little more research. And, even if I don't 100% agree with everything she's about, it's like that would still be better than the two-party system. And it's like at least I would be able to vote for the party that I believe in, the Freedom Party, the True Party, the Libertarians. Even if, because I've seen her kind of getting dragged through the mud a little bit from other libertarians saying, oh, she's not a true libertarian. And because she supported or came out and supported the Black Lives Matter organization, maybe. I don't really know if that was 100% true. Like, I don't want to say that as fact, but I think that was something I was seeing going on. And, people were calling her out for that because it's like, we all know, if you look at the Black Lives Matter organization website and what they demand, they want to destroy black families and the black community based on just some of their demands and what they want. Like, they want to get rid of the Western nuclear family. So it's like the two-parent household, the mom, the dad, they want to kind of get rid of that. And we've seen the percentages and the numbers of what, regardless of race, like how badly you're impacted with just kind of a single parent household. Like the crime rate, I believe, usually goes significantly up if you don't have a father in the household. So, and of course there's exceptions and things like that, but just based on what they're kind of saying, the Black Lives Matter organization, and what they want to abolish the police. They don't want to nuclear family. They I forget all the, like, there's a handful of them that's just like, wow, this is not a way to help the black community. This is a way to hurt them. And then you see the money being raised, being donated to like white politicians and stuff. So how is this really helping the black community? I just don't really understand it. I really don't. You can check out Steven Crowder's Change My Mind. He says Black Lives Matter is a domestic terrorist organization. And he has another video coming out, I believe, tomorrow. But the one from last week was a pretty good one. It's like an hour long. He has like 2 discussions, I believe, throughout that video. And it's good. He lays out the facts, he lays out the points, and people, I guess, were trying to call him racist or something for saying this, but it's like, no, go watch the video and you'll kind of see what's up. But that he's always got that. People just want to kind of hate on him and all of that, and I don't understand why. I really don't. It's like I try and watch somebody for who they are and not hearsay, So that's just it's really just, I don't know, man. I think it's cool that he got remonetized. Who knows how long it'll last. This is just one of those things where there will always be like some sort of negativity coming towards you just for telling the truth, man. It's crazy. And it's like people are trying to come after him again for an older video, maybe like 7 months ago. When he titled a video "When Transgenders Attack" or something like that. And they're trying to say that that's hate speech or something like that. And if you watch the video, I believe the person identifies as a transgender and they're attacking him. So how can you title a video any differently when it's based on facts, especially when you watch the video? Like, what? This makes no sense to me. It really makes zero sense. But let's move on. Like I said, I kind of had to move through this quick. But yeah, shout out Steven Crowder. He got his YouTube channel remonetized, and I know he's not hurting. He has the Mug Club, he has the Crowder Bits that was monetized, which makes no sense. But yeah, shout out Steven Crowder, shout out Joe Rogan, Ron Funches, Tim Dillon, just all those podcast people, man. Ron Funches is great. He has a great podcast. I don't listen to it all the time, but he's just a super positive guy. And just has a great outlook on things. And shout out to Ron Funches and his podcast Getting Better. I like his message all the time for sure. Tim Dillon, just too funny, man. That guy is just too funny. Shout out to Tim Dillon Show. That's his podcast. And then The Fighter and the Kid, all those. Tinfoil Hat, obviously, Sam Tripoli, always got to give a shout out to them. Yeah, that's just kind of who I watch all the time, and all of that. Let's get into this snap. Let's run through a couple more things, and yeah, cheers. All right, so Padres, man, what the hell happened? What the heck, man? They got 2 up on the Dodgers, and then just got spanked the last 2 games, especially the last game of theirs. Um, I think they lost like 11-2 on their last game against the Dodgers. It was awful. I know Chris Paddock had, I believe it was the last start of the game with the Dodgers there on that series, and in my honest opinion, I think they put too much hype, too much praise into Chris Paddock from last season, and now he has all that pressure, all that hype, and he's not performing like he did last season. And any mistake or any mess up is going to be extremely highlighted, especially in this shortened season. And he's supposed to be the ace. He's supposed to be the number one. And he's not getting it done. And it's really frustrating. I don't think he's as good as, they wanted to say he was last season. Last season, he was on limited schedule. He had, limited innings, I should say, and they were keeping an eye on him and protecting him, and I feel like he was able to kind of just do his thing, knowing he would be taken out 4 or 5 innings or whatever, and now I feel like he's just getting in his head, and it's just not who he was last season, and it's really frustrating, but who I do like right now is Dinelson Lamet, man. 2 games in a row, he threw like into the 6th inning, no hitter, something like that. Just on top of it, man. Unfortunate with one of them where he lost, I believe. He ended up getting the loss or the no decision, and they ended up losing. But, yeah, Padres. And then they ended up getting swept by the Diamondbacks over the weekend. Like, are you kidding me? There was a couple of really close games. They were in it, like most games, but oh, now they're below 500. They're 11 wins, 12 losses. Just unacceptable. And now the series with the Diamondbacks, their season series is over. So there's no getting those back. There's no catching back up on those games. So that's how you ended it with the Diamondbacks, getting swept up. Pretty frustrating. Like, damn. And, I don't know how many more days they have left until they have a break, probably another week or so, but they need that day off, man. They need that little rest, and, I don't even know if that's gonna do it, though. I don't even know what's going on, man. It just seems like they wanted it early in the season, and now they just seem like they just aren't as hungry anymore. I don't know what's going on. I really don't. It's crazy. It's really crazy. But they're still in it like every game, so that's just what's really frustrating. But I guess it's just that Padres curse or whatever, I don't know. That San Diego curse, I should say. Whew, it's just wow. I can't believe they got swept by the Diamondbacks. Just insane. Just insane. How about this from Wednesday? Skipping back a little bit. I saw this thing going on. And, you go to Antifa.com and it went straight to JoeBiden.com. Like, it redirected it straight to Joe Biden's page. And on the browser, it still said Antifa.com. Crazy. It's like, I wish I would have screen recorded that, because it's like, I know what I saw. Other people were talking about it. But then all of a sudden, some other people started going to it and made it aware to me that that website was no longer there. So I was like, what the hell? They like took it down. It's like, I don't know why or who was behind that or what or how they can even do that, but somebody shut that down. Maybe gaining too much attention or something. I don't know what it was. I don't know how that could have even happened. But you went to Antifa.com and it went straight to JoeBiden.com. This is crazy, man. Like, what's going on with all of this? I don't even know. I don't know. So that was just that real quick. How about UFC? I believe it was 252. In Vegas at the Apex Center, we had DC versus Stipe for the trilogy, and Stipe ended up getting it done. It was a really close fight. It was a good fight, but it was a bummer because DC poked him in the eye, but the ref caught it, gave Stipe time to recover. And that's a part of the fight, that's a part of the game. But then Stipe poked DC big time in the eye, and it wasn't called, and DC couldn't even see from then on. But it's so this is my thing. It's kind of good that they didn't the ref didn't stop it and give him time to recover, because if he couldn't see, they would have stopped the fight. Like, easy as that. And I know DC wouldn't have wanted to go out like that. There was at one point, I forget, maybe it was round 2, 3, maybe, towards the end, where Stipe hit DC towards the end of the round and like rocked him, kind of like the second fight. And DC went back to his corner at the end of the round and was like, "Was I out? Did I like what happened? Like, where was he definitely got knocked out and was able to recover enough." And he was still out of it that next round coming out. You could still see he was trying to shake it off and all of that. And he did recover, but that eye poke really messed things up. And I wouldn't be surprised if DC fights again. This was supposed to be his retirement thing, but if it would have been a clean fight, if that eye poke didn't have happened, Stipe would have won. I could understand him being like, okay, man, I just don't have it. I'm done, and I'm good. But with there being that eye poke and just like I feel like the competitor in him, he's gonna come back and at least give it one more shot. But then if he loses again, then it's like going out 3 in a row, and you don't want that. So I don't know. I don't know what you do if you're DC, but just do what's best for him. He's got to do what's best for him, do what he loves and what he wants. So that's just frustrating. He had a torn cornea from what I was reading, and that just does not sound good, man. Hopefully his vision's like back and stuff, but that's just like I said, it's kind of good that the ref didn't come in and catch it, because it would have been called off right there. But then he had to fight with no vision in one of his eyes, so that just but shout out to Stipe, man, getting it done, coming out to Till I Die from MGK. I think that's what he always comes out to. He's always coming out to MGK, that Cleveland from the land. So yeah, I always get hyped when Stipe comes out, because I really fuck with Machine Gun Kelly's music and all of that. So that's cool. Both of these guys are, you got Stipe, who's a firefighter, who is still out there doing that and taking care of people that way. And the guys at the firehouse still just treat him like a regular dude, you know what I mean? So that's cool. Then you have DC, the family man, who's coaching and like I said, super family oriented and yeah, just both guys seem like really good guys, and it was tough to root for one or the other. You know what I mean? Like, just kind of wanted a good fight, and it's kind of a bummer that it kind of happened with the eye poke, but you know, that's what happens, and we'll see what happens with DC. We'll see what happens with Stipe. I know John Jones tweeted right afterwards he's gonna be coming up and coming to catch Stipe, but you know, Francis is right there as well. Francis Ngannou is you know, wanting that rematch as well, so we'll see what happens with Stipe, man. We'll see how much time he takes off and when he gets back and who the next opponent will be. We had Chito Vera and Sean O'Malley. And, you know, Sean O'Malley came in having all this hype, being undefeated, all of that. And I don't know if I said it, but I was like, you know, Chito Vera's he's a dog, man. And I think I said it was hard to root against him. Like, I like Sean O'Malley, his character, his persona, all of that, but he does seem a little bit too cocky, and when you get like that, I start to lose interest. But you know, you gotta promote yourself, you gotta do your thing, and I get it, I understand it, but there was like a kick that Cheeto threw, and then right after that, Sean O'Malley started like limping on one of his legs, I think his right leg, his foot. And from then on, like he got messed up. His foot got really hurt. I don't know if it's broken. I don't know what the injury is. I didn't hear an update on that. But yeah, Cheeto ended up taking him out, getting I believe it was the TKO, the technical knockout. He like knocked O'Malley down, I believe, and was kind of doing some light ground and pound, about to start doing some like heavy ground and pound and stuff, and then Herb Dean called it off because O'Malley just couldn't defend himself. He was in a lot of pain with his foot and all of that. So yeah, that is, wow, crazy. You hate to see an injury, you hate to see, you know, someone go out like that, but you know, you thought initially you thought it was kind of this fluke thing. You didn't know what happened, but you look at the replay, it's like, nah, he landed a good kick, and then from then he messed his leg up, or messed his foot up. So it was all part of the fight. It all was. We'll see what happens next with both of those guys. Hopefully, you know, Sean O'Malley isn't out too long and his injury heals up pretty quick, but you know, we'll see what happens. What? Oh, I was gonna say, man, the Funky Family Bunch, man, has not been good since they've been the Funky Family Bunch. Askren lost and retired. Chase Hooper lost. Violent Bob Ross lost. And now Sugar Sean O'Malley lost. So, not looking good for the Funky Family Bunch. But, man, Ben Askren and Chase Hooper just did a super funny like video. They're doing this like little like sketches with Ben Askren as the dad and Chase Hooper as his estranged son and stuff. Oh, it's hilarious. Hilarious. Shout out to Ben Askren. He's super funny. Super funny. And Chase Hooper. They pranked Ariel Helwani the other day, like a few days ago last week. Oh, just too funny, man. Just funny stuff. And from what it sounds like, Ben is going to be taking over DC's spot for DC and Helwani. So it'll be the Funky and Helwani show. But that's kind of about it. Let's get into this last snap and I will get on out of here. This lasted a little bit longer than I thought. But yeah, let's get this and then I'll get on out of here. Cheers. All right, everybody. that should do it for today. Yeah. Like I said, I meant to get something out Friday. It just didn't happen. Stupid stuff with my phone. But hopefully I can get it figured out and just keep it running smooth from here on out. We'll see though. I cleared up a lot of space. Hopefully it works. I don't know. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Tune in to Tuesday Morning Tokes tomorrow morning. And until next time, everybody, peace.